The introduction of the new Prague Orioles happening here in Milroy, Minnesota, as we are about ready for another second round game in the Class C state tournament. The new Prague Orioles, winners of their region, moving on here with the bye last week, and they will be hosting, or they are the home team, and the visiting team, the Lumberjacks of Foley. Foley rallying from way down against Hanska last Friday night on the 21st, the first game in Springfield, and winning it in extra innings to move on here to the second round. The Foley Lumberjacks managed by Mike Beyer, and the Orioles of New Prague managed by Nick Schenecker. Let's get you to the starting lineups as we're just a few seconds away from getting underway with the first pitch. And for Foley, who will be the visiting team at the plate first, they'll be leading off for the Lumberjacks will be their right fielder Noah Winkleman. Drew Beyer, son of Mike Beyer, the manager, is at shortstop, and he'll be batting second. Tyler Midas is DHing, and he'll be in the number 3 hole. Mitch Logering will be batting fourth. Logering is playing second base. Batting fifth, Mitch Keeler, the first baseman. Batting sixth at catcher, Ian Von Wald. Sam Keeler will be batting seventh and playing in the 7th position. That's left field. Brandon Biskins is at third base. He'll be batting eighth, and rounding out the lineup batting ninth is the center fielder, Joe Zawicki. Pitching for the Orioles of New Prague today, Nathan Sproles. Sproles, pitcher at St. Thomas, graduate of St. Thomas just this past year in 2020, and the right-hander wearing number 38 is getting his warm-up tosses in right now. Starting for the Lumberjacks of Foley, they are going with one of their draftees out of Luxembourg, JT Harn. Harn came in and pitched the final 8 innings last week in relief and picked up the win as the Lumberjacks were on the edge of being done for the season and figured out a way to rally against Hanska and advance on to today's play. We are in Milroy, where the rains have come and gone for now, I would say. The sky's getting much lighter out to the west, and it should be a great afternoon for baseball. Earlier today, we watched the Watkins Clippers completely dominate the Fergus Falls Hurricanes. Matt Geiselman, a second straight shutout. Mike Geislinger. I don't know where I came up with Geiselman. Geislinger with his second straight shutout. Geislinger, 18 innings of shutout ball so far in tournament play. But let's turn our attention to this one with Foley in their blue jerseys, the darker blue with the lighter blue, powder blue shoulders, and the word Jacks across the lettering. Their white pants with the piping down the side. So the Foley Lumberjacks coming to the plate in the top of the first inning, and Noah Winkleman, the right fielder, comes to the plate, and the first pitch is fouled off, strike one. Second pitch, almost exact same location, fouled away, and it's 0-2 for the Jacks in the top of the first inning. The New Prague Orioles in their road grays, classic road grays. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt. A little hitch in the delivery from Sproles. They've got the lettering New Prague across the jersey in orange and black, numbering below that, and they'll be wearing the black caps with the orange bill and the orange O. The Orioles have been in existence since 1978. They took the place of the Robins, the original town ball team out of New Prague that went out of business. 1-2 pitch on the way, or disbanded, or disappeared, I guess would be the best way to put it. 2-2 from Nathan Sproles, pitching to Noah Winkleman. Winkleman hitting from the left side of the plate, and the 2-2 pitch off speed gets Winkleman out in front of it, and a strikeout to start the game.
Now batting shortstop number 4, Drew Beyer.
Drew Beyer coming to the plate. Another left-handed batter. wearing number 4. Byer going without the gloves, batting gloves, and the first pitch is over for a strike. No balls and a strike, 1 down for Foley in the first inning. And slash foul. Sproles working ahead in the count again, 0-2. Defensively, we'll set the defense for New Prague after this pitch. And foul ball. Count remains 0-2. James Furness is at first base. At second base, Jacob Motter. Playing short, Jacob Deutsch. And at third base is Bryce Novak. Ground ball. Byer is fielded by Sproles. He flips it over to the first baseman, Furness, and there's 2 up and 2 down.
Now batting, designated hitter number 5, Tyler Midas.
Tyler Midas, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Right-handed batter wearing number 5, and the first pitch from Sproles is a breaking ball just off the shoulder of Midas, 0-1. Fouled away, chopped on the foul, and the count is 1-1. Anthony Motter is catching for New Prague. In left field is Ben Boothie, and it's a base hit. So, and a sliding play by the right fielder. He not only slides, but he drops the ball 2 different times. So, Tyler Midas on board. And a runner at second with 2 outs. And that brings up the second baseman. Mitch Logering is batting in the cleanup spot. And given a double on the play on the ground ball down the right field line and the sliding right fielder, who's Eric Wagner for New Prague. So runner at second with 2 down. First pitch, Logering is a strike. Logering wearing number 23. He'll be batting for the DH was batting for the pitcher. Harn is not batting in the lineup today. No balls and a strike. Runner at second. And it's fouled straight back. 0-2. Finishing out the defense for the New Prague Orioles, Ben Boothie is in left field. Eric Wagner in right, and in center, Colin Dorzinski, and he'll also be the leadoff hitter. Top of the first inning, it is scoreless, but a runner in scoring position. Sproles and Motter looking to get their signals correct with the runner at second, and Logering calls timeout. Back in the box, 0-2 pitch is on the way. And it's ripped towards second and fielded and caught in the air. On the dive, the play made by Motter, Jacob Motter, and that ends the inning. So 1 base hit and 1 runner left on base for the Foley Lumberjacks. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. New Prague coming to the plate. It's scoreless, and you're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the Minnesota Amateur Baseball Championships Class C style. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back for the bottom of the first inning. And we'll pick up the New Prague batting order for you. Colin Dorzinski will lead off. and play center field. Jacob Deutsch at shortstop and batting second. Bryce Novak is your third baseman, batting third. James Furness will be the cleanup hitter, and he's at first base. The designated hitter, Gavin Bergman, is batting fifth. Eric Wagner out in right field bats sixth. Jacob Motter, who made that last diving play, batting seventh. So we've got two Jacobs in the middle of the infield, and the first pitch from JT Harn is ball one. JT wearing the uniform of Luxembourg, the lefty, dealing for Foley, and a fastball is in for a strike. Harren, but it's pronounced Harn. Finishing up the order, Ben Boothie will bat eighth, and Anthony Motter, the catcher, will bat ninth. The 1-1 pitch is lifted out to the outfield, and it's the right fielder Winkleman who's going to make the play. And Dorzinski is the first out. Up comes Jacob Deutsch, the shortstop. He wears number 1. Deutsch is at St. Cloud State. You look at this New Prague baseball area right now, not only having great success in the amateur baseball tournament with St. Patrick and Union Hill moving on to the third round, or the Sweet 16. The pitch from Harn's fastball's in, and that levels the count at a ball and a strike. We're having trouble with the score bug right now. It is not popping, and we will work on that and keep you abreast of the scores. The count goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the first, no score. And a swing and a miss, and just like that, Harn gets the strikeout of Deutsch. And there's 2 down. I was finishing a sentence, and usually it's best to finish a sentence if you start it. But talking about the success of New Prague just here in the state amateur baseball tournament, think about what's been happening just at the youth level. They just came off winning the senior salute. That was the tournament for all the seniors who didn't get a chance to play there last year because of COVID, as the strike goes to the number 3 hitter, Bryce Novak, the third baseman, wearing number 19. Harn off to a very good start with a fly ball out and a strikeout. So they won that tournament this year, and that's coming off the heels of New Prague making it all the way to the state for a championship in 2019. That team losing to Eastridge of Woodbury in the championship game. So on the baseball scene, in the amateur baseball scene, New Prague is having some success, and right now the New Prague area doing well in the tournament. Quick grounder right back to the pitcher Harn, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Foley. So after 1, it is scoreless. We'll be right back on PrepSpotlight.tv. Technology at its best. We get the score bug working. We're in the top of the second inning here in Milroy. Andy Price and Nicholas Earlbeck enjoying a Sunday afternoon. It's our 7th of 8 games, and it's Foley and New Prague. Winner moving on to the Sweet 16, and Mitch Keeler comes to the plate. He's the number 5 hitter, and first baseman, wearing number 24. Foley, another Stearns County team. And the count 0-1 on the foul ball. Sproles, straight up and down delivery on his kick and his follow through, and the count is 1-1. The breeze has died down a little bit. Still coming out of the south, so that's straight out of left field. You're watching. Ground ball towards the hole. Shortstop picks it up. Deutsch fires across, and they get the out. So Keeler goes down on the ground ball to the shortstop Deutsch, and that's going to bring up Van Wald. Ian Van Wald, that's EAN.
Now batting is catcher number 10, Ian Van Wald.
And Van Wald hitting from the left side. And Deutsch now is giving up a hit. A double down the right field line in the first, the only hit of the game. First pitch misses low to Van Wald. Count 1-0. Sproles with the delivery. Swing and a miss as another pitch down in the zone. Works on that effort. 1-1. One out, top of the second. Fastball up high and away, and it's 2 balls and a strike. A little hesitation off the kick in the delivery and the swing and the miss by Van Wald, and it's 2-2. Van Wald 0 for 4 last week in that rally win over Hanska, and he looks at a pitch high in the zone, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the 3-2 pitch misses inside, and another base runner for Foley on a base on balls. First walk of the game, and Sam Keeler comes to the plate. Keeler scored twice last week in that win over Hanska. He was 1 for 4. Keeler, the left fielder, another left-handed bat. And Keeler, wearing number 2, comes to the plate with 1 out and a runner on first base. Sproles, short kick, fastball, strike 1. Final from the game in Springfield is Cold Spring. The Rockies move on. Breaking pitch catches the inside part of the plate, and it's no balls and 2 strikes with the runner at first. The 2 teams that won this morning, both here in Milroy and over in Springfield, were winners of the first week. So 2 teams with byes, 2 region champions are knocked out, and we have, I believe, 5 now of the teams that have won so far are teams that won in week 1. 0-2 pitch is a fastball sliding to the outside part of the strike zone, and it's taken for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first with 1 out here in Milroy in the top of the second inning. Second of 3 games today. Slapped, and it is fair. They get the out at first, and they throw to second. Safe at second under the tag is Van Wald. The ball was very close, foul fair, and didn't see an emphatic ruling by the umpire, but it is going to be 3 unassisted on the out. They had to get the tag at second because the force out was erased when the first baseman steps on the bag. So the runner moves into scoring position, and Brandon Biskins, the third baseman, right-handed hitting third baseman, is at the plate now. And the pitch gets past, wild pitch, bounces back quickly, and a chance to get the out, but the ball gets past the third baseman, and Van Wald is going to come in to score. And just like that, a run scores. So a wild pitch advances the runner to third, and then the errant throw will allow the runner to score. So 1-0 Foley in front, and Van Wald making an interesting traverse around the bases. Walks, gets to second underneath the tag on what could have been a double play. advancing to third on the wild pitch and then home on the exact same play as the catcher throws down to third. And it looked like they might have had a chance at him. And the throw getting through the underneath the third baseman, and the run scores. So it's 2 balls and a strike to Biskins, and he chops it foul right in front of the plate and wide of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the number 8 hitter, Biskins. Last week, Biskins was 0 for 5. One nothing Foley. And a strikeout ends the inning. So Foley scores without a base hit, the benefit of a base hit. Again, a walk, forced over to second, or on the fielder's choice. Von Wald ends up at second base. Wild pitch to third, and an error scores the run. So that's how you sometimes score runs in baseball games, and it's 1-0 going to the bottom of the second inning. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C Amateur Baseball. To the bottom of the second we go. New Prague coming to the plate now, trailing 1-0.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for New Prague, first baseman number 4, James Furness.
James Furness at the plate, and he will be facing JT Harn, the drafted pitcher out of Luxembourg. The lefty delivers a pitch that is just inside. Ball 1. Foley scoring in the second, and the foul ball levels the count 1-1. Furness, a college baseball player, St. Scholastica. Crouches at the plate and delivers the ground ball for the base hit. Furness singles to left. And the first hit of the game, first base runner of the game for New Prague, brings up Gavin Bergman, the designated hitter, wearing number 31. Harn now working out of the stretch, keeping an eye on the runner at first. Bergman without batting gloves. Looks at ball 1. Nobody out here in the top of the second. They look like they have the bunt on. The batter Bergman pulls the bat back, and the count is 2-0. We played 5 in the Class B game in Shakopee as the bunt is fouled off. And after 5 innings, Chanhassen, the 2-time State B champions, are leading 1-0 over Meesville. Foley leading here 1-0 over New Prague. Foul tip on the 2-1 pitch, and it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A runner at first. Single to left by James Furness to start off the inning. The infield we didn't set because the inning was so quick that JT Harn threw in the first. We'll get that set right now as called third strike on Bergman. And there's an out in the second inning, and that's going to bring up Eric Wagner.
Now batting right fielder number 10, Eric Wagner.
So the battery mate is Von Wald, Ian Von Wald for Harn. Keeler is at first, Logering at second. Byer drew it short. Runner going, and the throw down is not in time. It was bang bang at second base, and getting his foot in on the slide before the tag is put down is Furness. So Furness with a stolen base and is now in scoring position. The count 0-1 as that was a strike to Eric Wagner, the right fielder. Biskins at third, as I was saying. Keeler in left, Zawicki in center, and Winkleman in right. Foul ball, and the count moves to no balls and 2 strikes to Wagner. The Orioles, part of the DRS League. And a breaking ball stays high from Harn to Wagner. The Foley crowd imploring strike 3. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch slides away, tails away from the right-handed hitter. And the count again levels up at a 2-2. Runner at second base is Furness. He singled and has stole a bag. And again, that pitch tails away from the right-handed batter, and it's out of the strike zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the second. Pitch inside. It was a 3-2 pitch, and it is a walk. And now the second baseman, Jacob Motter, comes to the plate.
Now batting second baseman number 18, Jacob Motter.
So 2 runners on in the second. And JT Harn, with 1 out, will face right-handed hitting Motter. First pitch is just inside, fastball. And the count is 1-0. Motter over the plate. Took a little something off of that fastball, and the count 1-1. He has good tail. That ball tails away from right-handed hitters. It'll tail into or break into, move into the left-handed hitters. This one lifted to right field, and it is not caught by the right fielder Winkleman, and the bases will be loaded. It was close enough that the runner at second, Furness, could not advance on. It looked like for a second Winkleman was going to be able to track it down, and he slides, but the ball lands just at the tip of his glove. So Wagner is on, Motter is on with a single, the second base hit of the inning. Wagner moves over to second base, and Furness is at third. So the bases are loaded, and Ben Boothie, this left fielder, wearing number 13, comes to the plate. So issues abound now for the Jacks. The first and third baseman play in on the corner, and the first pitch to Boothie is fouled away. Right towards the concession stand area where they sell the Super Dog, which is a hot dog with taco meat and nacho cheese on it. Put some jalapenos on there and you got yourself a meal. No balls and a strike. Boothie at the plate. No batting gloves for Boothie, and he fouls it away. That one will get out of play down the metal bleachers on the right field side. The wind blowing from left field towards right field, or from straight in from the south. Again, we have played this our 7th game without a ball leaving the yard here in Milroy this weekend. Home runs aplenty this morning in Cold Springs when in Springfield. And the 0-2 pitch swung on and missed. The base is loaded, so nowhere for him to run. And Boothie strikes out, and Harn has a big strikeout.
Now batting the catcher number 27.
And Anthony Motter is left up to him, the catcher, wearing number 27. Furness at third. Wagner's at second. Motter is at first. 2 outs. First pitch tails away outside, ball 1 to the catcher Anthony Motter, the number 9 hitter. Harn with the set high right around head level, the glove and the ball, and he's get a swing and a miss. On the Town Ball Uniquely Minnesota show, one of the episodes that we created was called The Butcher, the Baker, and the Candlestick Maker, and finish up this thought after this pitch on the 1-1, and the pitch is outside, 2 balls and a strike. And that was a quote from Terry Steinbach, that's who plays Town Ball, and the manager for New Prague Nick Schenecker said, he's our butcher. Our catcher, Anthony Motter, is actually a butcher. And he swings on the 2-1 pitch. It's lifted out to center field, and Zawicki is there for the Lumberjacks, and Foley gets out of a bases-loaded jam in the second inning. So 3 runners are left on base, 2 hits in the inning for New Prague, and they do not score a run. So we're going to go to the top of the third, and Foley leads it 1-0. We'll be right back on PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Mike Byers, Foley Lumberjacks leading 1-0 over New Prague. And Joe Zawicki, who tracked down that fly ball with the bases loaded for New Prague in the second inning, is up to bat in the first, or to lead off the third inning, I'm sorry. And the first pitch from Nathan Sproles is low, ball 1. Top of the third. And chop foul off the batter, so it's a foul ball. He was still in the box at the time, and the count is level at 1-1. Here in Milroy, Minnesota, at the Yankees field, dimensions 305 down the lines. It's not deep down the lines, but nobody's actually taken any balls straight down the line. In right center field, it's 348, 375 to dead center, and 361 to left center. This ballpark was a little bit of a surprise host, as they were scrambling when New Ulm pulled out as the host of the tournament due to COVID concerns. Drilled to left field, line drive, but it hangs up. And Zawicki hits it hard, but he hits it right at Ben Boothie, and that's the first out of the inning.
Now batting right fielder number 11, Noah Winkleman.
Noah Winkleman struck out to start the game, and he is now batting with 1 out in the third inning. 1 out in the third, and the pitch fouled away. So, as mentioned, New Ulm was the original host for the 2020 B and C tournament, and their decision in early August to walk away from it has left everybody scrambling and picking up the pieces. Milroy and Shakopee. Milroy picking up the second part of the Class C, as Springfield was already set to host. The count is 1-1. Swing and a miss from Winkleman, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Shakopee has picked up the Class B tournament at Schlepper Stadium. We're down to the Final 4 there. So these ballparks that didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this type of an event have done a fantastic job. Hit hard by Winkleman, but the wind was going to hold that up. And Boothie, busy in this third inning, makes his second play. And there are 2 down in the inning, and Drew Byer comes to the plate.
Now batting the shortstop number 4, Drew Byer.
Drew, the left-handed hitting shortstop, grounded back to the pitcher in his first at-bat, and he looks at ball 1 low from Sproles. 1-0, Foley leading this one, and he looks to drag a bunt, down the line and instead fouls it right back. Foley with a very sharp-looking uniform with the multi-tone blue and the two-tone helmet with the dark blue on top, and on the lid the powder blue or baby blue, whichever way you want to call it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Beyer, and the pitch is high from Sproles. 2-1, 2 down in the third inning. 1-0. Foley scoring in the second. And the pitch swung on and missed. Fooled on a off-speed pitch, and the count is 2-2. Defense playing him straight away, and Sproles kicks and delivers, and a little blooper into left field, and I have to believe that's going to drop. So Boothie could not get to it, and the ball skips past Boothie, and heading on to second base is Beyer. So Beyer with a bloop base hit.
Now batting designated hitter number 5, Tyler Midas.
And Beyer in with a 2-base hit to left field. Second hit of the game. The first hit of the game was delivered to the person who's sitting in the batter's box right now, Tyler Midas, the DH, with a double down the right field line. Runner at second. There are 2 outs. Sproles kicks, delivers to Midas, and the pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1. The Lumberjacks have had a runner in scoring position every inning so far. Runner at second, swing and a miss, and 0-2. Sproles works ahead in this count, paying a little attention to what Beyer's doing at second, but ultimately he can take care of the business with Midas at the plate. Sproles steps off the back of the rubber and is back with his toe on the rubber now. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 down in the third. Sproles is set. Second baseman checks the runner, and the pitch is just off the outside corner, and it's 1-2 to Midas. Midas had a nice night in the rally against Hanska last Friday. He was 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. He also scored a run in that game. A win in Springfield last Friday night. 1-2 pitch is on the way. Again, missing outside. 2-2 from Sproles to Midas. Runner on second. New Prague pitcher gets ready and delivers, and it's swung on a miss, and a strikeout ends the third inning. So another base hit and another runner left on base. So 2.5 innings are complete, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. The Class C state tournament being played here in Milroy and Springfield, and we'll take a quick break. We'll step aside for just a second, and we'll be back with the bottom of the third. New Prague, the Orioles trailing, and they're coming to bat. We'll be right back. Coming back for the bottom of the third, and we'll go back up to the top of the order for the New Prague Orioles. And the center fielder, Colin Dorzinski, who flew out to right field in the first inning with his hands above his helmet to start his batting routine. And he looks at a strike right at the letters from J.T. Harn. The Foley starting pitcher, who is a draftee. He's being borrowed from Luxembourg. Swing and a miss, and just like that, no balls, 2 strikes on the scoreboard. Dorzinski gets ready, and a breaking ball is tapped right out in front. Picked up by Von Wald, the catcher. He throws high, and the first baseman, they're going to say foul ball. It's a foul ball. The umpire on the bases had waved it off and called it a foul ball as he was running. The throw from Von Wald had pulled off Keeler, but all that is for naught. And the pitch is outside. A ball and 2 strikes now to Dorzinski. Dorzinski crowding the plate. He's inside, and he flares off the foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 3rd inning. New Prague has yet to score. They have 2 base hits. They get both of them in the last inning. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is a slow breaking ball, and tap foul right in front of the catcher. We had some weather in game 1, about an inning and a half of steady drizzle, sprinkle, foul ball again. But I kind of feel like the dark clouds are past us, and we might be able to play unfettered here and get these 3 games in without any issues. But I'm not a meteorologist, and I don't pretend to be one. Slow curve is grounded to short, picked up by Byer. He's going to fire across, and it is on target to Keeler, and the first out is recorded. With 1 down in the 3rd inning, Jacob Deutsch comes to the plate. Deutsch struck out in the 1st.
Now batting shortstop number 1, Jacob Deutsch.
The Orioles have had a good run here in the decade, well, I guess the decade that just ended, as this decade, 2020, begins this new decade, and it's starting out as bad as any decade you could ever think about. But they made it to the tournament in 2010, 11, 13, 2017, and 2018, hosting it in 2018. Strike called, 1 ball, 1 strike to Deutsch, who wears number 1. Mentioned earlier, he's a St. Cloud State Husky. This Orioles team is young, average age 20. After they hosted the tournament in 2018, Coach Schenecker said that a lot of the veterans moved on. They had played in tournaments and had hosted a tournament. Swing and a miss. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Deutsch. That after they had that thrill of having the state at their doorstep, playing in their ballparks, they decided that was good. So they've reloaded and are rebuilding with some younger players and back in the state tournament after an absence last year. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Nobody on. Bryce Novak is on deck. Harn has that fastball that tails away, and it leaks away, and the count is full. Three balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way, fouled away. Harn out of the windup, keeps that glove high the entire way, and swing and a miss. Deutsch goes down swinging for the 2nd time, and Novak comes to the plate. He grounded back to the pitcher in the 1st. So at least through the first couple times through, Harn, the pitcher from Luxembourg, has had no issues with the top part of the New Prague Oriole order. Novak looks at a breaking ball over for a strike. Bryce, a Gustavus Gusty, member of the baseball squad. Fastball just misses on the outer corner. 1-1. Harn looks very young as well. I do not have the specifics on his age, but he looks like a youngin. The ball and 2 strikes, 2 down here in the third. There is another game going on in the tournament. Class C over in Springfield. And the pitch misses, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Laverne and Young America going at it. Ground ball to Byer. He fires, and that rhymes, and there's an out. 6-3. So Drew Byer busy with a couple plays at shortstop, and we're going to go to the top of the fourth. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back with the Foley Lumberjacks leading 1-0 on Prep Spotlight.tv. As we come back to the top of the fourth inning, wanted to get a quick shot of Mike Byer, the manager of the Foley Lumberjacks. Mike and I had just a brief meeting before the game. Mike's one of his best friends in the entire world is Trevor Fleck, coordinating producer for Fox Sports North, and Trevor's a good friend of mine as well. And Trevor might be listening right now, but kind of hoping you are, as you're watching Town Ball, one of your passions. I know you received some tough medical news this week, and Mike and I talked about it, and both of us with tears in our eyes as we were talking today. And as I want to just mention quickly that in the life and game of baseball, the game is played until the final out is recorded, and that's, I believe that there's still a lot of good at-bats for Trevor Fleck to come, and so everybody here is thinking about you, Trevor, and wishing you the best and wishing you everything good in the days to come. So wanted to talk about that this afternoon, and we'll get back to the baseball game now as Mike Byer's Foley Lumberjacks leading it 1-0, and at the plate is Mitch Logering. Logering ended the first inning with a line drive caught by the second baseman. We're in the top of the fourth inning here. Foley leading. Nathan Sproul's the pitcher for New Prague. And the pitch is popped foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mitch Logering. Back-to-back Mitches in the batting order for New Prague. Or for Foley, I'm sorry, Mitch Keeler. He'll be up next. Well, the first Mitch gets a base hit. So Mitch number 1 with the third knock of the game. A sharp single to right field.
Now batting first baseman number 24, Mitch Keeler.
And a leadoff single gets things underway in the fourth inning. And now Mitch Keeler. Throw over to first base and back in time. Up in Shakopee, another throw, and they got him. They got him on the pickoff. Logering not getting back in time, and the righty Sproles picks off the runner. And they get the out after the leadoff single. Mitch Keeler, first baseman, grounded out to the shortstop in his first at bat. So a report on the score up in Shakopee. It's 1-1 now after 7 as Miesville has come back to tie it. Strike 2 on the pitch at the knees to Keeler. And Sproles kicks and delivers, and it's fouled away. heading towards a black minivan, but the retaining fence keeps it from maybe doing any auto body damage. No balls and 2 strikes, and a blooper is going to fall for a base hit. So back-to-back hits for the Mitches. One Mitch got picked off. 4 hits on the game for Foley, and that's going to bring up Ian Von Wald. Von Wald walked and scored.
Now batting the catcher number 10, Ian Von Wald.
Running for Foley right now at first base.
Running at first base number 9, Ryan Shimoleski.
And it's Ryan Shimoleski. To me, Shimoleski, one of the great Midwest names, upper Midwest names. So Shimoleski pinch running for Keeler. They will, of course, substitute it back in, and Sproles goes right back firing towards first base. Furness laid the tag on to get the out on Logering early. And he had to reach up to stab that hard fastball throw over to first base. Swing and a miss from Von Wald. So the 1 run in the game was manufactured, I guess, slightly manufactured, slightly a gift. And that was Von Wald. He walked. That's partial a gift. He advanced onto second on a fielder's choice that he slid under a tag on a non-force out play. Another throw over to first there. No balls and a strike. So that's slightly manufactured. And then the wild pitch advanced him to third, and as he was heading towards third, they thought they had a play on him, and the throw went errantly into left field, and so he scored. That's gift on both fronts there. So 3/4 gift, 1/4 manufactured. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch misses. A little outside, and it's 1-2. 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. You're watching the Class C state tournament. Quick throw over to first base. Shimoleski is back. Fouled hard, but fouled wide of the bag at first. Actually closer to the dugout than the bag at first, and they'll chase after that down in the corner. Sproles delivers the pitch as the runner leaves, and a ball hit out to right field. It's deep, and it is off the fence. Shimoleski kind of hesitated at second, and he'll end up at third, so a double for Von Wald. That ball was hit hard. That's the farthest ball we've had hit towards right field in 2 weeks of play, and it's a double for Von Wald. Second double to right field for the Lumberjacks, and Shimoleski is over at third base.
Now batting left fielder
As
number
Von Wald
2,
has been in the
Sam
mix on the
Keeler.
offensive side. So with 1 down, the runners are now at second and third. I'm guessing that you're going to see the Orioles infield, at least at the corners for sure, play in. We'll see where the second base and shortstop come in. And coming to the plate is Sam Keeler. Keeler, the left-handed hitting left fielder. He grounded to first. He thought the ball was foul. It was right on the border, right on the line. It's not a border, it's a line. It's chalked. And it was deemed fair. So he's 0 for 1. Two runners on Great scoring opportunity for Foley. They already lead at 1-0 here in the fourth. And Sproles delivers, and it's fouled away. Keeler scored 2 runs in that win last week against Hanska. He was 1 for 4 at the plate. They were down 7-2 in that game. Rallied to get it to extra innings. There was a rain delay in it. There was a little bit of everything in that win for Foley. Time called as Sproles and his catcher Motter just are not on the same page now through the first couple pitches, or at least first pitch. Infield is slightly in. They're on the baseline level, not into the grass. Swing and a miss, and the count is no balls, 2 strikes. So Sproles ahead as he gets to get ahead. If you ever need a strikeout, this is the situation you need a strikeout. So Sproles, who has a strikeout in every inning, 3 strikeouts on the game. This is the top of the fourth, 1 down. Would be a huge help if this ball isn't put in play for New Prague. Foley on the other side just wants to get it. Ball to the outfield, could score run number 2. Ball hit somewhere in the infield where infielder isn't charging at it, coming home. Could also be good enough to score the run. A ball and 2 strikes now. Keeler waggling the bat, and he is set. Sproles, deliberate, and it is a short chopper to third. They're going to come home with it. It's a tough play for the third baseman Novak, no doubt, and a run's going to score. And now they throw to second, but the second run's going to score. So running all over the place as they try to get Keeler going to second, and 2 are in for Foley. So two runs are coming to the score. Let's try to recap that. The ball hit to third, Novak charging it, and he's wanting to come home with it, and it gets past him as he's just unable to field it. He's trying to barehand it. So Keeler takes off running for second, and they throw to second, and he's safe, and as he does that, Von Wald is going to come around to score. So 2 runs score on the play. It's an infield single. Infield single for Keeler. That's going to, or for Sam Keeler, and that's going to score the pinch runner, who was Shimoleski. So that scores the run. RBI to Sam Keeler. And then the throw down to second allows the runner Von Wald to throw, or to score. So an RBI for Sam Keeler, no RBI on the run that scores Von Wald. And Sam Keeler ends up at second with 1 out. So 3-0 is your score. And at the plate is Biskins, Brandon Biskins. No balls and a strike as we try to catch up. My scorebook is a mess. It's a hieroglyphic mess, and another wild pitch. And Keeler sprints around third and will stay there. So wild pitch. Six hits on the game for Foley. And again, the infield will make their way in. It was a slow chopper by Sam Keeler that scored the run. Now Brandon Biskins, who struck out his first time up, has got a count of 1-1. Wind shifting just a little bit, and they run the suicide play, and the squeeze is going to work. So Biskins gets his job done. 1-3 on the sacrifice, give him the RBI. He gives himself up, it gives a run in. So Keeler scores, and it is 4-0. So Foley figuring out a few different ways to score runs so far in their 4 innings. And Sproles will face Zawicki. Zawicki hit the ball to left field. It's a line drive to left that was caught by Boothie. chopper to Novak at second, or at short, third, somewhere in the infield, and the out is made. So 3 down, 3 runs in. On the hit side, 1, 2, 4 hits. No errors. 1 runner is left on base, but they score on a little nubber single down the third base line, and then that actually leads to another run as they throw it around the infield to the Orioles, and then a suicide or the squeeze scores a run, and it's 4-0. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll step aside and show you some highlights of the Class A-B games from last week. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th after this.
They haven't been easy to come by. Here's a high fly into left field, way back and gone. Brown takes his lead at first, the 2-2. Lifted in the air, shortstop. Arnold backtracking, he's got it. And the Chanhassen Redbirds hold on.
Bain pauses. This one hit in the air. Shallow right field, coming on, it falls! It falls! And Elko wins it 7-6.
9-6 Millers here in the 9th. Pushing pitches, swung on, off the end of the bat towards second base. Hansen has it, tags the runner, goes to first, and the Millers are state champions as Jeff Miller grounds into a double play.
To the bottom of the 4th, and the New Prague Orioles now in a hole. They're down 4 runs. And the first pitch from Harn is outside. And it's the number 4, 5, and 6 hitter. And Furness pops it up. James Furness, the first baseman, and that's out of play. He singled in the first inning, one of 2 base hits so far for New Prague. Stole second when advanced over to third, but he was stranded there. 1 ball, 1 strike from Harn to Furness. It will be Furness, Bergman, and Wagner due up for New Prague. Hard drive right up the middle, off the glove of Harn. He scrambles, picks it up, throws, and gets the out. So Harn almost had it on the line drive. Instead, it kicks off right behind the mound, and he scrambles there, gets it, and fires to first baseman Keeler for the out. So that brings up Gavin Bergman, the DH. He went down looking in his first appearance. Four to nothing the score. The winner of this game will face the winner of the 5 o'clock game over in Springfield tonight. That's Buffalo and Morris. Pitch in for a strike, and it's 1-1 now to Gavin Bergman. That'll be next week in the Sweet 16. 2 balls and a strike. They'll play 2 games on Friday, 1 here, 1 in Springfield. They'll play 3 games each place on Saturday and swing and miss. And they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And after Saturday, we'll be down to 8 teams. And then on Sunday that's the marathon day. You have to win 2 games on Sunday to keep playing. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch is on the way, and it's grounded back up the middle. Past the pitcher, second baseman's going to field it. Logering's there. He gets it over to first base in time, and there's 2 down in the inning. Eric Wagner coming to the plate now.
Now batting right fielder, number 10, Eric Wagner.
Wagner, the right fielder, walked in his only plate appearance. New Prague had the bases loaded in the second inning, but left them all stranded. The first and the third, Harn has worked clean innings. Strike 1, and the next pitch is popped up. The right fielder, Winkleman, is there, and he'll make the play. So 3 of the 4 innings, Harn has kept New Prague base runners off the bag, and we'll go to the top of the 5th inning. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv. We're going to show you highlights of last week's Class C games in the first round, and then we'll come back and get to the 5th inning.
Driven to the gap in left center field. This one lands. Big throw to the plate. It's not in time. This is 4 and a walk. Runner going. Byer. And the pitch gets away. Byer coming home. There won't be a play. And Foley wins the game.
Sorensen delivers. It's hit hard to right. And that is going to be over his head. Delivers an RBI double. 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. And that ends the game. He gets him on a called third strike. He had 2 called third strikes in the inning.
Ground ball up the middle. Great stop by the second baseman. Firing to first and got him. But guess what? The Prior League Mudcats have just taken the lead.
Pitch. Hit a long way. Deep, looking back, and it is gone. And Matt Ambrose has opened this game up with a 3-run home run.
Top of the 5th inning, and back to the top of the order for the Lumberjacks of Foley. We have a final in from the Class B ranks, and we'll get to that here in a second as Winkleman just decides he's going to cut me off by his first pitch swinging. How dare he? Ground ball over to Motter. Motter flips it to Furness for the out for the New Prague Orioles, and that brings up Drew Byer. He's got a base hit. He doubled in the 3rd. He was stranded there. 4-0 is your score. The Lumberjacks lead. But over in Class B, that game was tied up until the 9th, and Chanhassen scores, and they go on to win it 2-1. So Chanhassen, the 2-time defending champions, knock off Meesville, but Meesville's still alive. We're into the double elimination side of it. So Meesville will now work their way back through the losers bracket. Chanhassen a step closer to a 3-peat. And again, I don't know if I can say that without having to pay Pat Riley some money because I think he copyrighted that. I always want to test. I want to test to see if he's watching Town Ball. Never know if Pat is he doing anything in the NBA these days. I've lost track of that too. 3 balls, no strikes, and Byer's going to get a 4-pitch walk. I don't think that's coaxing. I think you only coax a walk if there's some strikes on the board. But I don't know what verb to use, but I can tell you that Byer is at first base. Second time he's been on base today. Tyler Midas, 1 for 2. He struck out his last time at the plate. He did double in the first. A little shot down the right field line. Throw back to first, and diving back is Byer. There already has been a pickoff at first base. That came last inning. Just think that pickoff might have even kept another run off the board. A little nubber by Midas, and getting the play at first base is Furness. Advancing the runner, it's almost like a sacrifice, but it's not. So 3 unassisted for the second out. Over to second base goes Byer. And Logering comes up to the plate. Logering was the one who got the single last inning. Then he was picked off. He also lined out to the second baseman. He's hit the ball to the right side both times. 2 down in the 5th. Pitch is popped up. That one looks like it's going to stay in play, and it's the catcher, Motter, who gets underneath it to make the play. So first pitch swinging is Logering, and that ends the inning. So we're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're going to take a break on PrepSpotlight.tv and come back. It is 4-0. Foley's leading. The winner goes to the Sweet 16 next weekend in Springfield and Milroy. We're in the middle week of the State C tournament on PrepSpotlight.tv. Bottom of the 5th inning, it looks like I see a new defender out in left field for Foley, and it looks like number 15, and I have that as Kyle Kipka. Kyle Kipka out in left field, and he is replacing Sam Keeler, right? One of the Keelers, and it's Sam Keeler because Mitch Keeler's at first base. Harn quickly, JT working against the number 5 hitter. I'm sorry, the number 7 hitter, Motter. Jacob Motter, the second baseman, and it's a ball and 2 strikes in the bottom of the 5th inning. JT Harn from Luxembourg has that pitch that stays outside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Inside, missing with the fastball was Harn, and Motter has run the count full after starting 0-2. Pitch on the way, and it's grounded foul back off of Motter. Foul tips it right back into his body. Three-two pitch, off the fist and fouled away. Currently going over on in Springfield, we have the Young America game. Pitch popped up towards right field. With it and under it is Winkleman, and there's one down.
Now batting left fielder number 13, Ben Boothby.
Ben Boothby at the plate. One down in the 5th inning. We're halfway home in this one. Boothby looks at a strike, and the count 0-2 from Harn to Boothby. Pitch way outside and wastes the pitch in the count now. Is 1-2. Young American Laverne playing in a chopper. Harn will field his position. He gets towards first, and then the quick flip gets Boothby. And Harn has got the first 2 outs quite easily, and the catcher, Anthony Motter. Two down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Harn has done everything right so far, giving up just 2 hits, fielding his position. First pitch misses there to Motter, and missing again, and it counts 2-0. Motter flew out to the center fielder in his first at bat. 2-0 pitch on the corner this time. 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss. And now we are at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 5th inning. All the noise from New Prague was made in the 2nd inning. It was noise that didn't lead to anything, but they had the bases loaded. Pitch misses inside, and we run the count full. That inning ended with Motter, who's at the plate right now, flying out to center field. Foul tip, and that catches a big piece of the catcher, Von Wall. Von Wall doubles over. Yep. All this needs is just a few seconds to recuperate, maybe rub some dirt on it. That's what my dad always used to say. Yeah, just rub some dirt on it. You'll be fine. Ian Von Wald gingerly walking around. There's a quick foul tip right back on him. One of those that bounces back at you. I think I only put on the catcher's equipment one time in my 7 years of playing baseball. Probably missed out on more fun and more action back there, but never liked foul tips. And JT Harn doesn't like walks, but he's just issued one. So a runner at first. That's his second walk that he's given up. He walked Eric Wagner as part of that bases loaded second inning when nothing happened. But now with 2 outs, there's a runner at first, and it's Colin Dorzinski. Dorzinski 0 for 2. He's flown out in the first, grounded out in the third. Runner at first, and a 4-run deficit for New Prague. Pitch is low, and now 2 balls, no strikes, with 2 down. Outside, and it's 3-0. So Harn, after getting 2 quick outs, walks the number 9 hitter and falls well behind the leadoff hitter, Colin Dorzinski, the center fielder. 3-0 pitch on the way, and it's over for a strike. Three-one pitch on the way, outside, and now back-to-back walks. And are the Orioles in business? We will see. Is number 2, 3, and 4 coming to the plate? Possibly 2 outs, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Jacob Deutsch is at the plate, fanned in both the first and the third inning. Mike Byer is coming to the mound. Brings in the infield, or at least part of the infield, the right side of the infield, and the catcher involved in the discussion. 2 down. Deutsch coming up now with the chance to not only mark the scoreboard, but maybe mark the scoreboard with a runner in scoring position. Take a look around. A cool afternoon. It's been overcast almost the entire day, maybe the first inning of the first game. Strike on the first pitch from the left-hander Harn to Deutsch. Looking around the park, still most people wearing shorts, but you see extra layers on top. People in the party deck and down the lines and in the grandstand. Swung on and foul back by Deutsch, and no balls and 2 strikes. Two down. Harn delivers, and it's a strikeout again. And Deutsch leaves 2 runners on. 5 runners left on base total for the Orioles through 5 innings. And we will go to the top half of the 6th inning. And it's 4-0, and this is when the grounds crew earns their money as they repair whatever needs to be repaired around the base paths. And with that, we'll take a break. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the Class C State Baseball Tournament. Foley 4, New Prague 0. We'll be right back.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Now a 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Mitch Keeler comes up to start the inning and lines it right out to the center fielder, hardly getting a chance to put the headset back on. Keeler singled in the last at-bat. His pinch runner scored. Shimoleski scored the run. And there's one out now in the top of the sixth inning, and Ian Van Wald, who is 1 for 1, and he has scored twice. Walked and scored in the second. Singled and scored in the fourth. And he chops it towards the first baseman, fielded by Furness. Coming over to cover is the pitcher. And Sproles makes the out. 2 outs on just a couple pitches here. So they get the infield all manicured up. Does the grounds crew, and they're hardly going to be out there.
Number 15, Kyle Kipka.
So Kipka came in and played left field, and he is hitting for Sam Keeler. So that's who he replaced. Kyle Kipka, left-handed hitting left fielder, and 2 pitches. Good pop on the fastball from Sproles, but it is a ball, so it's 2-0 to Kipka. Breeze again kicking up a little bit out of the south. It's not a warm south wind. Breaking ball, strike, 2-1. Good curveball by Sproles. And it's a fastball outside corner. 2-2 now to Kipka. Top 6. Here in Milroy. And it's Kipka reaches out and pokes a single up the middle. Good piece of 2-strike hitting as he just takes that outside fastball and lined it back up the middle. Brandon Biskins comes to the plate. Two out and a runner on, and he's off and running. Kipka wastes no time to go, and the throw is high. The tag was put on him, but underneath the tag and underneath the throw and underneath the jumping second baseman is Kipka with a stolen base. So Keeler, Sam Keeler in his 2 at-bats, ends up 1 for 2. He singled that little number single that scored a run, so a hit and an RBI. And then he went down to second on the throw, and I'm wondering if, I don't know if he got hurt at that point in time. As we ponder that, Biskins, who also has an RBI, strikes out. And that ends the top of the 6th inning. So just like that, single by Kipka, stolen base by Kipka, and he's stranded at second base.
No errors, they leave 1 base
And we will go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 4-0 is your score. 4 runs on 7 hits for Foley. No runs on 2 hits for the new Prague Orioles. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th inning right after this. Another defensive change for Foley, as at third base, Tony Stay is playing at third right now. So he takes over for Biskins, who just struck out. And line drive, base hit that lands in front of Kipka. And a good base knock to start this inning by Novak. So Bryce Novak on board with a leadoff single.
Now playing third
Fourth.
base for Foley, number 8, Tony Stay. Now batting first baseman, number 4, James Frennis.
3 hits now against Harn, and James Furness up, and he swings, and it's fouled off. So Novak playing at third. He had that tough play on that infield single that scored the second run, and ultimately, after they threw it around, scored the third run. So he singles, and Furness check swings but goes around. He out ahead of it, and it's 0-2. So Harn has been keeping the better hitters, the middle of the order, off base. Pitch is in the dirt, blocking it is Von Wald, and staying at first is Novak. Furness singled in the second inning, stranded at third, and then he grounded back to Harn in the fourth. And swing, foul tip caught by Von Wald, and Harn picks up his first strikeout since the third inning. That's his fourth of the game. So Harn, who pitched 8 innings in relief in their win against Hanska last week in the first round of the tournament, is now into his 6th inning and going along well, although we did have activity in the bullpen. Alec Dietl was up for Foley, and now he is back down. Might have done just enough to warm himself up. Bergman at the plate. Bergman 0 for 2 with a runner at first. It's fouled away, right field side. No balls and 2 strikes. So quick leadoff single from Novak. They need to start chipping away at a deficit that it sits at 4 right now. Pitch inside from Harn. Ball and 2 strikes. Breaking ball stays up. I think it was a little up in the zone. Might have caught a little bit of the plate, but it was up in the zone. 2-2 the count. 1 out. New Prague, quiet offensively so far. Just 3 hits, but they had the leadoff single here. Lined out to center field, tracking it down and making the play is Zawicki. 2 outs. You can see the wind along with the slice of the hit taking that one, as Zawicki had to pick up his pace in chasing that one down in his final 2 or 3 steps. Two outs, and coming to the plate is Wagner. Wagner, the right fielder, walked in the second inning. He flew out to end the fourth. Pitch misses, and it's 1 ball and no strikes from Horn to Wagner. Runner at first. 2 outs after the leadoff single. Sitting over there still is Novak. Hit hard to center field. Going back is Zawicki, and Zawicki has it. And after a leadoff single, nothing else happens for the Orioles of New Prague. So they have yet to score. They leave a runner on base. 6 runners on base so far through the 6 innings. We'll be back on PrepSpotlight.tv right after this.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! DuBois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Top of the 7th inning. And Zawicki, who made the 2 plays in the outfield that inning, comes up first pitch swinging, ground ball to short, scooped up, and the throw in time to get the first out. Deutsch fields, throws over to Furness. Zawicki can go back to the dugout. 1 down.
Now batting right fielder number 11, Noah Winkleman.
Noah Winkleman comes to the plate. Noah is 0 for 3. And the pitch is a fastball outside, 1 ball to Winkleman. Struck out in the first. He flew to left in the third and grounded out. Looks at ball 2. Winkleman's made a few plays out in right field today. Fly ball. Center field. It's carrying because of the wind. And the catch is made out in center field by Dorzinski. That ball was up in the jet stream, and it's blowing out of the south, and it just kind of kept carrying, almost like it's blowing straight out of the east, but it just kept carrying all the way back near the warning track, and the catch made by Dorzinski, and that is the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Byer. Drew Byer, the young shortstop, has reached base twice, once with a base hit, and he walked as well. He has not scored. And the first pitch is a strike. Sproles delivers the curveball. It's nubbed back to Sproles. He fields it, throws, barely gets it. Hustling down the line is Byer. And the throw in time, and we'll go to the 7th inning stretch, and we'll just keep it right here. As 4-0 is your score. Foley leads New Prague.
At the top of the 7th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. That brings us to the 7th inning stretch, and baseball's national anthem. Please sing along. That take me out to the ball game. Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning from his great second baseman, number 18, Jacob Motter.
And we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. These last few outs going along pretty quickly, and Harn still pitching for the Foley Lumberjacks, and the first pitch fouled away by Jacob Motter, the number 7 hitter. So 7, 8, 9 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Motter, Boothie, and Motter. And again, activity in the bullpen for Foley. Swing and a miss. So foul ball and a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. New Prague mustering only 3 base hits so far through the first 6 at-bats for their squad. Outside pitch that tails away from the right-handed hitter is missing for a ball. 1-2 the count. And Harn delivers the pitch. It's flown to left down the line and foul, well foul. Chasing after it was Kipka, who's come into the game and played left field. Now warming up is the manager. Mike Byers warming up in the bullpen. 2-2 now the count to Motter as the breaking ball misses. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Strikeout number 5 for Harn. And Ben Boothie is up. Boothie 0 for 2. Not a lot of activity except for that second inning. That's where the things were happening for New Prague. They had the bases loaded, but could not push home the run, a run, anything. Fouled away, no balls, 2 strikes now as Boothie gets behind quickly. Struck out in the second, grounded back to the pitcher in the 5th. He's batting here in the 7th. Swing and a miss, and Boothie is down, and back-to-back strikeouts make it 6. And Anthony Motter comes to the plate.
Number 27, Anthony Motter.
Two outs, and Anthony Motter, the catcher slash butcher, at the plate, and he swings and misses on the first pitch. No balls and a strike. Fouled straight back and quickly 0-2. Over at the third base coaching box, manager Nick Schnedeker just looking to see if he can get some company over there at third base. They've had one guy over there with the bases loaded. Nick Schnedeker. And the 0-2 pitch misses up, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Working the inside part of the plate. It was just above the letters. Just a gray day today, but not a bad day for baseball at all. It's keeping everybody cool. And it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4-0 is your score in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that's going to be strike 3. Fooled on an off-speed pitch, and just like that, he strikes at the side. A snapper mow him down inning, we like to say. That's what us kids who grew up in the 80s. We'll talk about that, and we will go to the 8th inning. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of amateur baseball, the state championship here in Minnesota. And a little John Denver for you in the top of the 8th. No doubt about that. Life ain't nothing but a funny riddle. Sometimes you just can't figure it out. But we're playing baseball here in 2020, and it is the state amateur Class C championship. Take your good days where you can get them, and it's a good day to be at the ballpark watching these guys who are just having a fun time playing the game. Top of the 8th inning. And that's going to bring up the number 3, 4, and 5 hitter, Tyler Midas. Midas doubled in the first, stranded, struck out and grounded out. And the pitcher Sproul still going here in the 8th, and he just rocks and fires and gets 0-2 on Midas. And another pitch over the zone. Midas fights it off, fouls it off back. Oh-2, and the pitch is high to Sproles. From Sproles to Midas. A run in the second, 3 runs in the fourth for Foley. And the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes as the breaking ball skips in front of the catcher, Motter, and back to the backstop. We have a pinch hitter. Pinch hitter getting ready to come up and hit as we start hearing some rain on the roof. Light drizzle again. You can hear on the metal roof as Midas rips pitch, but it's an out and 1 down. 1 out in the 8th inning. Rich Rasmussen will be hitting for Logering. Rich Rasmussen wearing number 44. Got the good COVID-19 beard going. A little gray in the beard. Always appreciate a little gray in the beard. No balls and 2 strikes to Rasmussen, right-handed hitter. Wearing number 44 out of Foley, and he fights off the 0-2 pitch. And 1 down in the 8th inning. Don't see anything that looks like rain clouds above us, but there is some precipitation hitting Milroy at this moment. Swing and a miss. And down on strikes goes Rasmussen. And there's 2 outs for the first baseman, Mitch Keeler.
Now batting first baseman number 24, Mitch Keeler.
Keeler grounded out in the 2nd inning to the shortstop. Single, and then his pinch runner scored, and that's going to be just foul. Just foul. That is right down the line, but it's called foul. And it is just a loud, long strike is all that is for Keeler. As I mentioned, he singled in the 4th. He was pinch run for by Shimoleski. Shimoleski comes around to score. Keeler re-enters the game, and now the count 1-1. Last time up, he flew out to the center fielder. Rain just falling lightly here. And the pitch misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Keeler. 4-0 is the score. The Lumberjacks are 6 outs away from thinking about a celebration and a chance to get to the Sweet 16, or celebrating a win and get to the Sweet 16. But I'll also tell you, they know what it's like to come back. They came back from 5 runs down last week, so I think once you realize that you can do it, you understand that it can be done back to you. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs after another foul ball. And Mitch Keeler facing Nathan Sproles. Foul tip, catches a little bit of the catcher and might have caught the shoulder pad of the umpire as well. And now the rain, you can maybe hear it on the, you hear the pitter patter of it on the top of the grandstand. Comes down a little bit harder. And the ball hit out to center field, chasing after it, and he won't get it. Keeler ropes it, and he's going to trot in for a double. Keeler a double to center field, his second hit of the game. See if manager Beyer will run for Keeler like he did the first time. Ian Von Wald. Right now, Keeler's sitting out at second base with 2 down. Von Wald is the batter. Von Wald has scored 2 runs. He has 1 base hit. Sproles with the rain coming down. Foul tipped away, strike 1. As the rain seemingly is getting just a little bit harder, the sun's popping out more. That's irony or something like that. Maybe it isn't. But the sun is popping out more as we're seeing more of the green grass, the green pop on the grass, and the strike pitch is not a strike. It's outside, and it's a ball and a strike, 2 outs. Runner at second. It's a 4-run lead in the top of the 8th inning for Foley. Prague unable to muster any offense so far. Hit hard, foul down the right field line. Just for a second, Keeler was brought back towards the bag at second base as Motter, who now is playing way into the hole towards first base, had made his move over to maybe feign a pickoff play. But now he is 20 steps away from the bag at second. Pitch to Von Wald is low and away, and it's now leveled up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Top of the 8th inning. Foley with the lead, a 4-run lead. Wald falls it right off his hands, right off the fists, fouls it over towards the beer garden. Watch out for the beer garden. Checking the runner at second, and the pitch swung on and fouled away again. The catcher, Von Wald, keeping this at bat alive with 2 down. Very deliberate now in the pace of play, and the pitch is swung on. It's popped up to Novak at third, and Novak trots in and makes the catch. 3 outs, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Another hit, another runner left on base for Foley and the Lumberjacks.
We have an update on that game in Springfield.
We're going to keep it here in the bottom of the 8th.
Young America 2.
You might have just heard the public address announcer here say that Laverne has taken a 3-2 lead on Young America over in Springfield. And Harn still pitching for the Lumberjacks into the 8th. Hard not to let him keep going. The Byers have been warming up. First it was the manager, Mike Byer, warmed himself up and then warmed up. And then Nate, shortstop, or Nate would be the manager of the, Nathan would be the manager of the Eagles, but how about Drew? Drew, Mike's kid at shortstop, he was warming up that last half inning. So we've got a couple warm Byers and see who else might get the chance to warm up here. But at this moment in time, Harn, the draftee from Luxembourg, is doing everything in his power to pitch Foley into the third weekend of State C play. Harn delivers a strike on the first pitch to Colin Dorzinski. So here we are at the top of the order, and if New Prague is going to get things going, you figure the top of the order would be a good place to do it. And Dorzinski pops it up. That thing's going to drift foul. And no balls, 2 strikes from Harn to Dorzinski. Dorzinski is 0 for 2. He flew out to left field or right field and grounded to short. He walked his last time up. And the pitch is on the way outside. And the count goes to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Did it hit him? Look back to see if it hit him. I think he's asking if it hit him, and they went to appeal on the swing and the miss. So it's 2-2. 2-2 to Dorzinski, and the pitch is grounded toward short. Byer fields it and gets it across quickly to Keeler for the out. Foley has played a clean game so far, 0 errors on their side of the ledger. And Jacob Deutsch comes to the plate. Deutsch is 0 for 3, and he's wearing the collar with 3 strikeouts. Pitch on the way. Squares the bunt, misses, strike 1. Swing and a miss again, and Deutsch 0 for 2. He has not put the ball in play yet. And as the number 2 hitter, he is just having a hard time figuring out what Harn is doing. And there it is again. Harn just takes a little bit off of it. And that's exactly, I think 3 of the 4 strikeouts are on those pitches that are above the belt, right around letter high, and he's just taking a little off of it, and I think he's in front of it. So 2 up, 2 down. And Harn is working quickly and quickly back ahead in the count. And a swing and a miss. So he gets 2 strikeouts here in the 8th, and we're going to the 9th inning. We're going to take one more break here on PrepSpotlight.tv. We're going to tally up some stats. We'll be right back with you. You're watching the Class C State Amateur Baseball Tournament. Foley in control, 4-0 over New Prague. Back to the ninth inning here in Milroy, at the home of the Milroy Yankees. And we have a new pitcher, so 8 innings worked for Sproles. And he gives up 4 runs on 8 hits. And the first pitch is a strike to Kyle Kipka. Four strikeouts for Sproles. And he also walked a couple. So he is on the hook for the loss, and Kipka strikes out by Furness. So James Furness is the pitcher. Furness was the first baseman, and he comes in to pitch the ninth, and he picks up his first strikeout. And as we mentioned earlier, we had the defensive change at third base, and Tony Stay will be batting in the spot where Biskins was at. And the count is 1-1 to Stay. Biskins on the day ended up 0 for 3 with an RBI in the ground ball. That scored that 4th run. One last game here, starting at 5 o'clock tonight. 1-2 pitch, grounded up the middle, and a base hit for Stay. And it'll be the defending Class C champion, Jordan Brewers, that will be playing at 5 o'clock, and the Lake Henry Lakers. Game set to be teed up in just about an hour and 10 minutes. We'll see what happens with the end of this game, if this one. Another pinch hitter, as 34 is into the game. And it's Wyatt Zawicki. So Wyatt Zawicki for Joe Zawicki. Swing and a miss. Nine hits on the game now for the Foley Lumberjacks. Oh, 2 count to Wyatt Zawicki, and he just sticks his bat out and knocks it towards right field, and making the play is Wagner out in right field. And let's go to that's a double play as the runner took off, and the double play was made. So simple as that. For the double play, and thought there was just 2 outs, but the runner was off and a running with that, and that's just an easy double play. And Horn is going to come back, and we're just going to leave it here for the bottom of the 9th inning. 4-0 the score.
For Foley in that 9th inning, no runs, 1 hit. Nobody left. The next game here in the ballpark will be Jordan and Lake Henry. Jordan, the defending state Class C champions. And we just ask that all teams and spectators leave the field in a timely manner. Take your garbage, throw it in the receptacles, and that will give us time to get things sanitized and prepared for the next game. So if you could help us all leave in the stadium in a timely manner, and we do have places outside the fence.
So through their 9 innings, Foley picking up 9 base hits, an average of a hit an inning. They do have 4 runs on the board. So JT Harn, who picked up the win in relief for Foley against Tanska, and now has a chance to pick up a win in a complete game start if he is able to get those 3 outs that are facing him. It is the middle of the order for the Orioles of New Prague. 4, 5, and 6. Furness, who just pitched that last inning, is up. He's got that crouch look, and he delivers a first pitch single, double. It's going to get to the gap. And Furness will trot into second base standing up. And another leadoff base hit, a leadoff double. That's Furness' second hit. He is 2 for 4 on the game. So Bergman comes to the plate now. Bergman 0 for 3. And it is 4-0, so you need a few things to happen here, but you can't get it started unless you get it started, somebody once said, and there'll be a pinch runner. Number 9, Max Fierst.
Running at second base, number 9, Max Fierst.
Fierst is going to the bag at second, and he will run for Furness. And now it's Bergman and Wagner on deck. Bergman struck out in the second, grounded out to second in the fourth, and flew out to center field. So 0 for 3, and Harn. And it's first pitch swinging. It's a tapper. Harn's got to field it, grabs it, and throws on to get the out. The runner's going to move over to third. But Bergman gets fooled on the pitch, and that's out number 1. So now it's just 2 outs more needed by Harn. And although sometimes knowing that you threw a complete game shutout is big, that runner at third not meaning a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. 1 ball, no strikes to Wagner. Wagner walked in the second and has flown out 2 other times. Once to right field, once to left. So 0 for 2 for Wagner. Harn, the lefty, outside. 3 balls and no strikes. On deck is Motter, the second baseman. In for a strike. So Harn, at this point, you don't want to put anybody on for free. But he does. So, first and third, and out comes the manager, Mike Byer. He hasn't officially made a gesture like there's going to be a change. Discussing with the pitcher and the catchers to see, maybe getting some thoughts from the catcher as to whether he's seeing anything from what's happening with Harn in this inning. And Harn's going to stay right where he is at. There was warming up in the bullpen again, and I think it was for the second time we were seeing Dietl warm up. Alec Dietl. Runners at first and third. Jacob Motter at the plate. Motter with a base hit, and the pitch misses outside. He is 1 for 3. 1-0, and the pitch on the way is in for a strike. Foul tip on the slight check swing, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, 2 runners on. 1 out. Motter did deliver a single to right field in his first at-bat. Pitch on the way, hit towards short. Hopper to Byer and on, and the 6-4-3. Double play is turned, and the game is over. And just like that, we do have a complete game shutout. As Motter grounds into the game-ending double play from Byer. DeLagering to Keeler. And like that, just like that, it is all over with. 2 games in the books. And the final is 4-0. Foley moves on to a date with either Buffalo or Morris. We'll find out about that later on tonight, but Foley's on to the round of 16 with a shutout win. So they survived last week, coming from 5 runs down. Today, they win it 4-0. The winning pitcher, JT Harn, out of Luxembourg, pitching as a draftee for Foley, and he goes the distance. 9 innings pitched. He gave up 4 hits. He did not give up a run. He struck out 10. And he walked 2, including that walk.